Hello everyone, my name is Juliana and welcome to What's Your Problem, a series where we spotlight students and alumni tackling real-world challenges with creativity, sustainability, and entrepreneurship. In each episode, we'll dive into the journey that they're currently taking, the ways they're trying to solve the challenge, and how NC State's resources help them turn these challenges into opportunities. Hello everyone. My name is Juliana, and today I am accompanied by
Tahira Pirzada, the co-founder and CEO of Soteria Formulations. Soteria Formulations is an agri-tech company. So what we do there briefly is we upcycle crop residue to use those as delivery platform to enhance performance of agricultural compounds. Why does it matter? Because I'm sure most of you are already familiar with the concept of a drug where you have a little bit of the compound, but then there is a lot of the inert or carrier which makes sure that the drug is delivered at the right spot, at the right time, in the right manner. So the same is the case with agriculture formulations. So in agriculture formulations, what happens that you have the pesticides, for example, but to make pesticides more effective, you need to formulate it with an inert or with a carrier.
Okay.
So agriculture formulations usually already contain those carriers or inerts. But what makes us unique is, and first of all, let me discuss the problem with you. So currently the problem with agriculture is that most of the pesticides, almost 75 to 90% pesticides sprayed on crops never reach the target. So they end up in the soil, water, air, or on your food. So what happens then? There is an overuse of pesticides because obviously the farmers want to have good quality food, want to have pest control. What does that do? That leads to pest resistance and environmental and regulatory concerns. Consumers, which is you and me, do not want to eat the food which is like loaded with pesticides, loaded with chemicals. And that's the reason we switched to organic foods, which are more expensive. So what we are doing is that we are using a crop-based material to benefit the crops. So we tailor it in such a way that it loads the pesticides and delivers it where it is needed, not everywhere else where it's not needed. And then it delivers it in a slow manner, so that cuts down the need for multiple applications. Our technology helps to reduce the amount of pesticides very significantly. More than 50% of pesticides can be cut down, and still the farmer can have a good quality produce which earns him a premium pricing for the produce. This project actually started as an academic project. We were funded by Gates Foundation to establish sustainable crop protection in sub-Saharan Africa. So that was what we were working on, and we realized that by using banana crop residue, we can actually develop matrices which can be used as seed treatments for yams and white potatoes in the beginning. And it effectively controlled the pest and enhanced the yield quality and amount. So, and we did this, we developed this technology, we used to ship it to Africa, and our collaborators used to conduct field trials. So initially it was just an academic achievement. Although you feel good that you are helping to change the lives of smallholder farmers in Africa where they need it the most and they need better food security and everything. But later on we realized that this impact is huge and it needs to be spread globally. And that is where the idea of Soteria Formulations came in. Just a transition to a more sustainable way of living, using the waste materials or way of applying chemicals to make the food better. So we are conserving the environment, we are conserving the food quality, we are helping the farmer to save money on operational costs and earn more money by selling a produce which is of higher quality.
All wins, all wins.
All
Sky
wins, all wins.
skyrocket.
And it's a win for the manufacturers.
How do you balance being both a scientist and an entrepreneur when your innovations have to satisfy both biological precision and market viability?
Learning. But when you are transitioning from a research lab to a totally different platform, which is not your comfort zone, because I am a scientist for a reason that I love to work in the lab. And but then, so the incentive has to be huge, and my incentive for this transition was how we are going to globally impact agriculture, which is the part of life of everyone. So there is no exception in that case. During this transition, one major lesson that I've learned, that when we are scientists, we just try to fine tune everything, just troubleshoot everything before discussing it with people or trying to publish it. You just need to figure out if it's going to be a business or not. And for that, you need to figure out if there is a need for your technology or your innovation in the market, if it's solving any problem, or if it's just another cool idea which can be published maybe in Science or Nature. Being an entrepreneur is different than being a researcher. Both have their own challenges, and when we try to marry both of those, that's even more interesting.
Innovation often brings unexpected learning moments. What is one assumption about sustainable agriculture you completely rethought after getting deeper into this work?
We were working on format, which was like a sheet, and we used to use it for the seed treatment in the beginning for the academic project. But when we thought of commercializing the technology, the first thing that we did was that we participated in NSFI course program, regional as well as national, and that's like a crash course on commercialization.
Okay.
So that involves reaching out to ecosystem stakeholders and asking for their opinion and checking if there is actually a need for your technology or not. And that is when we realized that, okay, everything is cool and you need it, we need it, and we realized that the need is even more critical than we assumed. But one major issue that we realized was sustainably applying it in large-scale farming in North America or even in Europe requires changing the format that we were using in our field trials in Africa. Whatever you're going to launch as a business has to be compatible with farming practices, has to be compatible with the way the manufacturer is developing the formulation now, because otherwise you have to be super, super cool, and then they change their practices and they will adopt to your technology. That was the major challenge, and that's what we're doing at Soteria Formulations.
And let's talk about this amazing team behind Soteria Formulations. How did you guys meet? How was it discovered?
Okay, thanks, Juliana. This is the most fun part in this team, and for future entrepreneurs, I think one major advice I would like to give is just try to build a very strong team. I am lucky, or I would say Soteria Formulations is lucky, that we have an amazing team with diverse experience in material science, chemical engineering, plant pathology, and crop protection. And then we are joined by two amazing business advisors in advising startups as well as commercializing ag-tech businesses. So how did we meet? Remember I talked about the project that we started working on?
Yes.
That is when we met. So we have built this technology at NC State together. So we have an experience of working for more than 10 years. Me and my co-founder Dikender and our two academic advisors were part of the team who has developed this technology. And then when we incorporated Soteria Formulations, we were lucky to have our business advisors join us. So I cannot say enough for the need for a very strong team that backs you, sort of your skills complement each other, and that helps you accelerate the journey faster, helps you build the vision for your business and which route to take and which route not to take. So we are lucky to have an amazing.
Does your dream version of it look 5 years from now in terms of technology partnerships and global influence.
We are working in agri-tech, and I'm sure everybody agrees that agriculture is not local, it's global. We started with the global outreach, so we validated the technology in Africa. What we believe will happen in the next 5 years, we're currently developing and validating our products in field trials, because this is one major criteria that we want to use to reach out to our partners or potential customers who are the agrochemical or biological manufacturers. Having both the products that we are developing, one is a platted granule and the other one is a seed coating formulation, launched in the market through collaboration with agrochemical manufacturers who will be our partners. Commercializing this technology by licensing to them is the next target. We will expand this technology globally, starting with Europe, after US commercialization to Europe, because Europe is very much particular about the need for reducing the use of toxic chemistries and use of bio-based materials, switching to the synthetic plastics used in the current formulations now.
What one piece of advice that you would give to a student or someone wanting to pursue a STEM-based, sustainable, entrepreneurial venture?
I have many, but one major advice is that when you are working in the lab, as I mentioned before, you believe that your technology is amazing, and I'm sure it is. But before jumping into this entrepreneurial journey, just try to figure out if there is a need for this technology or not, if it's solving any problem in a different, unique way. That will help you a lot. Also, try to build relations within the ecosystem for that specific technology, because at times we are just limited to our comfort zone, who are researchers, mentors, scientific community. They are your comfort zone, but you need to get out of that, because unless you go reach out to the real stakeholders in the field, you will not understand if there is a need, what are the challenges, and how you can accelerate your commercialization journey. Be ready or be prepared to listen to a lot of rejections, no responses. You will grow a thick skin, and if you do not have that tendency, then this is a red flag. Do not go there. Otherwise, entrepreneurship is very exciting than a 9-to-5 job. It brings its challenges. At times there are moments of frustration, at times there are moments of fulfillment and achievement, and this is what matters. Believe in the impact of that business. It should have an impact which will give you that sense of fulfillment that, no, I'm going to make a change, and this business is not just for money.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Pirzada, for coming in today to What's Your Problem and discussing Soteria Formulations.
If you have an idea and you know that this has some potential, go for it. Maybe it's risky, maybe it fails, maybe it succeeds. You do not know until you work on it. So just get out of your comfort zone, reach out to people, go for advices. At times you will get valuable advices where you were not expecting at all. So just do it.
Yay.
Thanks so much for watching this episode of What's Your Problem, where NC State innovators turn challenges into impact. If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channels to see more students' stories. Want to share your own problem or project? Learn more about NC State's innovation and entrepreneurship programs on our website at ssie.entrepreneurship.ncsu.edu. Until next time, keep asking yourself, what's your problem?